My name is Domino Frank. I'm a humanitarian worker. I work with refugees and asylum seekers at the Swiss-German border, Otterbach, Basel, Switzerland. I am a co-founder of Good Life Gundali, winner of the Christopher Marian Foundation Community Development First Prize of 50,000 Swiss francs in 2012 here in Switzerland. I co-founded the Corridors of Peace, a non-governmental organization. I'm a Rotary Peace Fellow from the Rotary Peace Center in Chulalongkorn University in Bangkok, sponsored by the Rotary Club of Melbourne, District 9800 from Australia. The fact that we live in a first world European country does not insulate us from social problems arising particularly in development countries through urbanization, poverty, environmental destruction, and war. These causes have led individuals together not only to brainstorm, but to heartstorm too, and the result is Corridors of Peace. At Corridors of Peace, we want to think globally but act locally, hoping that our initiatives will meet a certain specific need. The result is a large number of active projects. The intention is to facilitate inter- and intracultural activities, improving the quality of life of human dignity by providing essential services such as human rights awareness and many other cultural and economic activities, dignifying through music and spirituality, providing the dashboard on which the human soul could find relief, preventing conflict, build peace, and hope for the future, often under difficult circumstances, home and abroad. For about 4 years, I worked with street children, juvenile prisoners, and slum dwellers in the Philippines. While studying in the USA, I served the Latina community in downtown New York in pastoral services. In Cambodia, I worked with landmine victims, helping with the organization and running of vocational training, providing feeding and accommodation for about 1,000 landmine victims on a daily basis. I returned to Africa during the terrible war that engulfed West Africa. Under the umbrella of Jesuit Refugee Service, I managed huge projects that catered for refugees, former child soldiers, internally displaced persons, and those adversely affected by poverty, crisis, or those living on the margin in Liberia, Chad, Sierra Leone, Guinea, Central African Republic, and Sudan. From the aforementioned, you can see that my work of peace is not only in theories, but in practice. So I call myself an augmentation of peace practice. One of the basic requirements for the Rotary Peace Study is a strong commitment to international understanding and peace demonstrated through professional and academic achievements and personal and community service activities. The community service situation is the situation of the former victims of the Chadian conflict, and the intention is to dignify through music and intercultural dialogue. At Corridors of Peace, we design concepts for transcending conflict. Therefore, dignifying through music will be one option worth exploring for this particular conflict. And the question is, you may ask, dignifying who? The former female victims and fighters of the Chadian crisis. Where? In northeast Chad, in a location called Gerida. To give you a brief history, the Tamara people have always been attacked, looted, raped, and assaulted by the Zagawas, who constitute the majority of the ruling party. The women are raped and assaulted, their boy child and husbands killed before their very own eyes. This motivated the Tamara girls and women to join the Force Unifiée pour Changement, called FUC, a rebel group. They joined the folk rebel group for protection and for revenge. Since the accord in 2007, or 8 rather, much has been done by both local and international organizations to stop the rebellion, end the crisis, and reintegrate the former rebels. When I say rebels, I'm referring to the male rebels, the men, the boys. Who is missing? The girls, the ladies, the women, the real victims, the female, the backbone of every society. Why? Religion rejects them for fighting. Their religion considers them daughters of the devil for fighting for their existence. The culture excludes and marginalizes them for having allowed themselves to be raped. Humanitarian actors and international NGOs deny their existence. Why? Because they have no capacity to challenge the tradition, the culture, and the religious beliefs. When will they be identified from their hiding places? Who will identify and rehabilitate these girls, these victims of war? When will the clandestine recruitment of these teenage girls and women stop? When will they be socialized to the society? When will they be rehabilitated like their former male colleagues? These former female fighters and girl child have no survival right in the society, no allowance or stipend like their male colleagues. Some have taken into drugs for survival, while some survive in giving secret sexual favors to their former male colleagues. Too little to live and too hard to die. So what do? Sit and watch? Pretend all is okay? How do we transform their situation without causing more chaos for these suffering girls and women? We shall use cultural, arts, and musical concerts to dialogue with the local authorities and bring relief and succor to these abandoned, marginalized, and discriminated girls and women. You can help to contribute to the research for identification and interviews of the said victims. As the saying goes, if you educate a man, you educate an individual. But if you educate a woman, you educate a family, a nation, a community. We encourage you to provide education and musical instruments and materials for the adult literacy education. Contribute to buy or sponsor the vocational development project. Example, buy a flour mill, a solar-powered flour mill, hairdressing salon, computer education, or agricultural materials. Corridors of Peace cooperates with Soloists European Luxembourg, CEL, Rotary Club International, Anglo-Nigerian Welfare Association for the Blind, ANWAB, the Anthroposophic World Social Forum Initiative, and all others who will be moved by the desire to help the human spirit find meaning to life crisis. I continue to remain grateful to the Jesuits who trained me with the Ignatian spirituality and broadened my perspective beyond imagination. Thank you for watching and thank you for listening.